Learning more tonight about the man who died in that stage collapse at Downsview Park yesterday. A freak accident that could have been catastrophic if it had happened just an hour later when the gates were scheduled to open to the public. Today, Ministry of Labor officials are at Downsview Park trying to determine exactly what went so wrong. Antony Robart with the latest.
The tangled mess of dozens of pieces of metal barely hang on, close to 6 stories in the air. A reminder of what took the life of a man who had spent much of it on stages just like these. 33-year-old Scott Johnson from Doncaster, England, who had been on tour with the band Radiohead as their drum technician. He was doing the final preparations for the sold-out show when tragedy struck.
The stage was just mangled. The center was just completely folded in on itself and scraps of metal all over the place.
We saw the back and it was just caved right in.
Yeah.
This is Scott Johnson from a few years ago in an interview while he was working for the popular British band Keane.
So there's more potential for not things to go wrong, but problems to arise.
Friends in the music community are now mourning the loss of Johnson, with whom many of them worked. A fellow British drummer tweets, "Devastated at the news my buddy being killed. Best drum tech you could ever wish for." Meanwhile, the search for answers into how the stage collapsed just hours before the show continues. And at this point, for the Ministry of Labor, who is heading the investigation, it does so slowly. The Ministry of Labor has deployed 3 inspectors and 2 engineers to Downsview Park. However, at this point, they say the structure is too unstable. They say it needs to be stabilized in order to be declared safe so they can complete their investigation. But at this point, it appears the weather was not a factor in the collapse, which also injured 3 other people. Unlike recent previous stage disasters where high winds were partly to blame. At the Blues Fest in Ottawa last summer, where luckily no one died, and then just 4 weeks later in Indiana, where the devastating outcome of that tragic event resulted in 4 lives being taken. Live Nation, the concert promoter which put on Saturday's event, is not commenting at this point. So many questions still need to be answered, but with the summer outdoor concert season about to begin, many in the music industry and spectators hope these questions are answered soon. Antony Robart, Global News.
Now, Radiohead has just released a statement on the tragic death of their drum tech in that stage collapse. It reads in part, "We have all been shattered by the loss of Scott Johnson, our friend and colleague. He was a lovely man, always positive, supportive, and funny, a highly skilled and valued member of our great road crew. We will miss him very much."